What's happening, YouTube? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today I wanted to talk about books I'm excited to get this year. Damn. For those of you that are unaware, my official book buying days have sort of been dwindling on me. I'm a big fan of custom binds, and prices in Canada are getting a bit too crazy. We don't get in stock trades over here, so I got to be very picky with my spending, but there are definitely 10 books I'm super excited to pick up this year. Some of them have been pushed back due to the COVID delays, but either way, let's dive into these bad boys. Be sure to subscribe first and foremost before we get into things. We post content regularly, doing live streams, all that fun stuff. We also do have a Patreon where we're doing hardcover comic giveaways and weekly Marvel code giveaways as well for digital comics. Primarily X-Men related stuff because that's really all I buy anymore. But 10 books I'm very excited about. We've got some awesome, relatively new announcements as well from companies like Image Comics, which is what I'm going to start with. The first book I'm super, super excited to get this year is Paper Girls Volume 3. This is going to collect the third and final part of the series, issues 21 through 30. This is a series by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang that I really, really enjoy. It follows a group of 4 girls who are paper girls. They have a paper route. The story starts off on Halloween, and things really spiral out of control real fast. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, I highly recommend checking it out. The first 2 deluxes, of course, are available, with the third one coming sometime in November. Super excited for it. It's been a great series so far. I'm glad we're going to get the third and final volume in a collected edition, so you can have all 3, the whole trilogy, nicely on your shelf. They're all, the first 2 volumes anyway, were awesome designs, really nice colors, really nice effects on them too. Highly recommend you guys check that one out. The second Image book I wanted to bring up is another awesome series we're getting the third and final deluxe for, and that is East of West Year 3. This is a series by Jonathan Hickman and Nick Dragotta. I believe that's Dragotta? I don't know. Either way, it's a great dystopian future post-apocalyptic sort of story that follows the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. As they sort of try and track down Death. Death is the main character in this story, along with a consortium of political figures and all sorts of other important characters within this world. It's a huge, epic, sweeping story by Jonathan Hickman, and this third volume is going to collect Year 3, which will wrap up the entire series. All the books are designed relatively the same, so I suspect we're going to have a matching spine and a nice, clean, crisp front and back. Very excited for that one. That is coming very soon. I apologize, guys. I don't have all this info memorized, but thankfully, I am putting it all up on the screen for you to see so you can be well informed, since I can't know everything all the time. The next book I want to talk about is a huge Batman release for myself, and I know Matt also is very, very much excited for this book. It is Batman, The Rise and Fall of the Batman Omnibus. Very bizarre name. I'm not sure why they just didn't call it Detective Comics by James Tynion or Batman by James Tynion Part 1, because he is currently working on the Batman ongoing series with the Joker War, so I assume there's going to be a Volume 2 that's going to contain his work as well. Again, DC has come up with the claim that adding volume numbers decreases sales over time, which I can understand, but a title like this is kind of bizarre to me. It doesn't really make sense for anyone who's just randomly picking it up. But anyway, it's going to collect the entire Detective Comics run. As far as I'm aware, I don't think there have been any official postings for what the actual issues will be. But as far as I'm aware, it's going to be James Tynion's entire run, which is about 30 some odd issues, if I'm not mistaken. Cover price looking at $150 US, way more in Canada, of course, and that's coming out sometime in December. So very, very exciting, amazing artwork in there that definitely deserves to be enjoyed in oversized format, especially Eddie Barrows. I can't wait to see his artwork in oversized format. Again, of course, if you've picked up the Rebirth Deluxe editions for Detective Comics, you've likely already got this entire storyline, so you can skip on it or upgrade to the Omnibus, but that is very exciting. It's got a great preview cover so far. I'm really looking forward to that. It clocks in at just over 1,200 pages, so a nice, chunky book for you Batman fans out there. Next up, also dropping in December, but it's coming from Marvel Comics this time, it is the New Mutants Omnibus. This is, of course, the run by Chris Claremont, with various artists on the title, and this is going to collect Marvel Graphic Novel number 4, New Mutants 1 through 34, the first annual, Marvel Team Up 100, 149, Marvel Team Up Annual 6, Uncanny X-Men 160, 167, 180, 189, 192, and Magic 1 through 4. So a nice nice chunk of material coming in at just over 1,200 pages as well, almost 1,300, I should say. I'm excited for this. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, for those of you that are not aware. I do enjoy a lot of their stories, but for some reason, just lately, none of the Omnibus releases have been tickling my pickle too much. But this is, like I said, coming out in December. I'm very excited for it because I've always heard such phenomenal things about New Mutants. I've read the Demon Bear saga, so I'm vaguely familiar with the team, and I'm looking forward to learning more about them. The big draw for this, of course, is the oversized Bill Sienkiewicz artwork, which is really where the series elevated to a new level. Matt and I tried to read New Mutants. We were going to do a little readathon and do some live streams about it, but it was brutal for the first handful of issues until Bill jumped on the title. So I'm really excited to try it again, see if maybe reading it physically as opposed to digitally will be what makes the difference for me. But we'll see. I'm very excited for this. I know a lot of you guys are very excited for this as well. It's an omnibus that people have been asking for a very, very long time. Finally getting it at the end of the year here. So that's a big release for me, and I'm sure a lot of you as well. Next up is a book that I was on the fence about double dipping for, but I think I will, just because I want to make sure Grant Morrison gets his royalties, and I am interested to see how Howard Porter's artwork looks in the oversized format, and that is JLA by Grant Morrison, the omnibus that is going to contain his entire run, which I believe was issues 1 through 41, with a couple minis as well along the way, if I'm not minis, sorry, one-shots along the way as well, some secret files kind of stuff. So I'm very excited to check that out in oversized format. I've read this run multiple times. It's probably the definitive JLA run, in my opinion. It's got the all-star team, of course, and incredible stories featuring characters like Darkseid, White Martians, all sorts of amazing villains. And Grant Morrison does what he does best. He comes up with these insane ideas and really awesome solutions to the problems that he creates, using characters' powers as like the Blue Superman at the time, probably the coolest use of the Blue Superman in my opinion. So absolutely be sure to check that out. I hope we get to see a little more, although honestly that volume of JLA is good. It's not phenomenal. There are some good stories here and there, but the Morrison stuff is where it really shines, and I'm glad we're at least going to get that in an oversized hardcover format. And that's going to clock in at around 1,500 pages, so that's a juicy monster. Looking at $150 cover price, again, way more in Canada, and that's supposed to drop, I believe it's late September, early October. Again, Amazon dates are not always accurate, so be on the lookout for that one. Pre-order it if you haven't already. That's going to be a big book, and I'm very excited to have it on my shelf. Coming in October, a book that was canceled at one point. Thankfully, we are actually getting a release for it, and that is Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 2 by Alan Moore. This should be the second of 3 volumes, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to collect issues 35 through 49 of Swamp Thing. Fantastic. The first volume was absolutely beautiful. I love the felt sort of design that they did on the actual hardback itself. And I mean, it's Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. What more do we need? With amazing artwork that absolutely deserves the oversized hardcover format. What is there to say about this? It's Alan Moore's Swamp Thing in an absolute format. Cannot wait for this coming in October. Perfect timing, because that's when my birthday is. So I'm very excited to have that on my shelf as well, and I'm very excited to see the 3rd volume get solicited once this one sells out. You guys gotta let's get that volume 3. Make sure we actually do get to experience it. Since I had just been talking about Morrison, let's talk about the other Grant Morrison omnibus I'm very excited about, and that is Batman, the 3rd and final volume that will be another epic DC omnibus trilogy on the shelf to go along with the Green Lantern one, the JSA one, the Flash one. Oh, I'm so thrilled we're going to have Grant Morrison's entire run in oversized omnibus format. This is going to collect, of course, all the Batman Inc. stuff, the 1st and 2nd volume that led up into and into the New 52 with the death of Damian Wayne. That's a spoiler. Sorry. I apologize. I should have said something beforehand, but I didn't. So I'm very thrilled for this. It's Batman Inc. is not the best part of the run, but it's still fantastic. And it's great to see the relationship with Damian evolve more and more. And I mean, what a way to go. What a way to go. Grant Morrison really reminds you how messed up the Al Ghouls are as a family. And I can't wait. Can't wait. So excited. This is supposed to come out sometime in August. Like I said, it's going to collect about 30 issues, coming in around 700 pages. So about the same size as the other Omnis we've had so far. Thankfully, it'll be a nice consistent flow on the shelf. And I imagine the design is not going to veer very far from what we've seen with the first two volumes. So that's another great one to keep your eyes out for. I'm definitely going to be picking that up day one. It's finally happening. It's finally happening. After so long of people begging and pleading, we are getting the Mike Grell Green Arrow run in omnibus format. At least the first volume. At least the first volume has officially been solicited. It's coming out in August. It's going to be, again, 1,500 pages. A big, big, juicy, juicy book for your shelf. Of course, Mike Grell's Green Arrow run is probably one of the most legendary runs on the book. Written and drawn by him, following Oliver Queen, a character who unfortunately does not have many stories collected in oversized format, aside from like the Jeff Lemire run, which is fantastic too. But I'm super thrilled to get this. I've personally never read the run fully. I've read the first arc or two. So I'm very excited to see what Mike Grell does with the character in the long run. It's going to be a huge book, kind of tough to read, but you know, we've been asking for it. We're getting something, so I got to support the book. Unfortunately, I don't know what issues are going to be included in this bad boy. I haven't seen anything listed officially. So if anyone does know, please let us know down in the comments below. Much appreciated. For all of you Black Hammer fans out there, we are getting 2 library editions this year. Two of them. The first one is going to be Black Hammer Library Edition Volume 2. That's coming out either early October, late September. Very, very excited for that one. It's going to collect, you know, the first one collected issues 1 through 12 of the main series. After the main series, we had Black Hammer Age of Doom. So this is going to collect the 12-issue series there, along with a couple other one-shots, World of Black Hammer and Cthulhuis. It's going to be around 400 pages. Of course, it's a library edition, which is 12 by 8, if I'm not mistaken, which is the size of an absolute edition. And I mean, for the price, it's like, I don't know, 40 US, 65 Canadian it's showing here. So not very expensive at all for the amount of content you're getting. And it's Jeff Lemire. It's Black Hammer. It's Jeff Lemire's Black Hammer. If you have not read Black Hammer by Jeff Lemire, you must read it. One of the greatest superhero stories you will read, with new characters. It's one of the first things he had ever sort of come up with and written when he was younger, and I'm very excited to continue reading this. I've only read the main series myself, so I'm very, very excited to check this out. And you know what? Let's just dive right into the next book, because it is World of Black Hammer Library Edition Volume 1. That's coming out in October. The previous library edition is coming out in September, if I'm not mistaken. But this is, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled we're getting 2 library editions for Black Hammer, and this one's going to collect a few minis, Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil, from the World of Black Hammer, and Dr. Andromeda and the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrow. So very, very excited to get these 2 minis collected in a library edition. It's going to be a little smaller, around 250 pages, but you know, it is what it is. At least we're getting more of the Black Hammer content. All of it's written by Jeff Lemire, with different artists working on different titles. Of course, next year we're going to get Volume 2 of the World of Black Hammer, which is very, very exciting as well. Seriously, guys, I think I did an overview on or a review of Black Hammer, so I'll leave a link down in the description below if you want to know more about the franchise, the series. Be sure to check it out. The library edition is stunning. It's so well put together. It's very easy to read, and it's super oversized. What more do you need? That's really my list of 10 books that I'm very, very excited for the rest of this year. Next 5 months, what's going to be coming out, I'm going to be picking up. What are you planning to pick up out of this list, out of books in general that are coming out? Of course, there is a plethora of books coming out. I could not cover them all. I had to choose the top 10 I'm most excited about, but let me know what your top 10 are down in the comments section below. I'll be sure to reply and let you know what I think. No, I'm kidding. I will be sure to reply. I'm not going to let you know what I think. I'm usually just going to be happy for you, because you're supporting the industry and you're getting what you like, which is always awesome. But before we go, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is what we do regularly, aside from our live streams. We do also have a Patreon, the Hardcover Comic, where we do hardcover comic giveaways at the end of every month. We also do give away Marvel digital codes whenever we get them, which seems to be every week at this point. So that's kind of fun too. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you guys are all staying safe and sound in these tumultuous times. But until next time, as always, you stay classy, Internet.